first question, do you feel like the tell me about yourself, the example was too long? Is it almost like just replicating your resume?
Good question. So in that first tell me about yourself question, you can answer that to about 30 to 60 seconds. I think 60 seconds, a minute, that's kind of a long time. So I tend to keep it to about 30 seconds. The answer wasn't necessarily replicating the resume, because if you think about your resume, it's going to be, you know, I have this job, this job, this job, this job. I think your goal in the tell me about yourself question is to pick out the key elements of your experience and summarize it, kind of wrap it up. I think it's like wrap it up in a little package that you want to present to that employer, where you're connecting the dots between your experience. Because even though they have your resume and they're looking at it, they aren't thinking about connecting like, oh yeah, in this role over here, this person really did a lot of customer service, and over here they were doing a lot of writing, and over here, you know, they were doing a lot of editing. They might not necessarily put it all together, but when you present it to them in a way of, you know, in all of my jobs, I really had the opportunity, whether it was in my job description or not, to provide a service to people, to use my writing and my editing skills. So I've really been using that skill set for the past 5 years, and I really look forward to be able to use that skill set in this particular job, because it really plays off and relies on all of my strengths. So it's a way of wrapping it up together. Keep it to about 30 seconds, and I think you're okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. The other thing I would say is you don't ever want to assume that people have actually read through your resume. So especially if there's a whole team of people at the table, you never know how busy they are. So it's good to point out the things that relate to the job. So I've got a couple more questions that don't necessarily relate to these. I don't know if you have something else you wanted to jump into before then.
Let's see. I think